What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games. In today's video, we have more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news and leaks to share with you all today. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the completely leaked list of returning Pokemon and the potential third legendary coming to the game. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video. I really appreciate it. Starting off with all the returning Pokemon to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. If you missed yesterday's video, definitely check it out because I went into much more detail than this section, but there was a little bit of an update. So they did confirm that Salazzle is coming back to the game, so they did make an updated infograph here and added Salazzle to the photo, and they actually removed a Barraskewda and put in Cramorant, but they're still very unsure on that, so that can go either way on Cramorant or Barraskewda actually being in the game. But at this point, this is the number 297 returning Pokemon from generations 1 to 8, including the Legend of Arceus Hisuian Pokemon as well. And this does include Pokemon forms. So as an example, Hisuian Typhlosion also includes regular Typhlosion. Hisuian Decidueye also includes regular Decidueye. So the big thing here is, will it be possible to actually get the Hisuian Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet natively, or will you have to go into Pokemon Legends Arceus, trade them over via Pokemon Home in order to get some Pokemon? We know there's a couple Pokemon that require special items to evolve into their final forms, like Cleaver needs a Black Argorite, and also Ursaluna needs the whole moon setting and the special item too. And currently, the current thought process right now is you cannot get Hisuian forms of the starters in Scarlet and Violet. You are forced to transfer them from Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you transfer a normal Oshawott from Pokemon Legends Arceus into Scarlet and Violet and evolve it, it will still be the Unova form, so you would not be getting the Hisuian Samurott. So this means you will need to buy Pokemon Legends Arceus if you want the Hisuian forms, as it seems like it is not possible to actually get the Hisuian forms in Scarlet and Violet at the moment. However, of course, this can change in the future. DLC will be added in the game, and I have a feeling there's going to be 2 DLCs, one in the summer, one in the winter for 2023 for Scarlet and Violet, and they'll be adding a way to naturally get Hisuian Pokemon. However, they're going to reward people who already own Pokemon Legends Arceus and allow you to transfer those Pokemon over once they allow Pokemon Home transfers. And I feel like Pokemon Home transfers are going to be allowed in February of 2023 because February is the month when Pokemon Day happens, which I believe is about the last Friday or Saturday in February. So we'll have to wait and see until then. But I would recommend probably picking up Pokemon Legends Arceus if you really want the Hisuian starters or any of the Hisuian forms. And some of them are going to be really great for competitive play. Definitely Ursaluna is going to be an absolute monster. Hisuian Zoroark is another one to look out for. So I would recommend shiny hunting for them now because you'll be showing off on a lot of people who do not have these currently. And if you didn't know, we have official confirmation that Hisuian Zoroark will be in the game. But as I said, just because it's in the game doesn't mean you can actually get a Hisuian Zoroark by catching it, or a Hisuian Zoroark by catching it within the game itself. It could just be a transfer over. But there is an official screenshot of this Hisuian Zoroark facing the Lucario. I do suspect that there will be trainers who will be having these Pokemon, and it'll sort of be like a little bit of a dex filler of an entry for you, but it's not going to be necessary for you to catch to actually complete your regional Pokedex or to get your shiny charm. And just to note on this again, if you take your Pokemon to Scarlet and Violet, they'll evolve into their normal forms, but if you evolve them in Pokemon Legends Arceus, it'll evolve them into the Hisuian forms. So think of this as an example. Let's say you caught a shiny Scyther in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There'll be no way for you to get a shiny Cleaver in Scarlet and Violet, but you could transfer your shiny Scyther from Scarlet and Violet back to Pokemon Legends Arceus, give it the Black Argorite, and then you get a shiny Cleaver, and then you can transfer your shiny Cleaver via Pokemon Home to Scarlet and Violet. So it seems like this is what we're going to have to deal with for at least a few, maybe 6 months, until a DLC update could potentially remedy this. It does seem really annoying, and it really just seems like, hey, you're going to have to buy Legends Arceus, which personally I think you should, but it does sort of suck that you're going to be locked out of a couple Pokemon unless someone's willing to trade them to you or maybe even gen them for you. And now for a Riddler Khu leak update. So Riddler Khu is talking about the brand new third legendary for Koraidon, and Miraidon. So there is a legendary trio in this game, but there has been nothing official about it. Riddler Khu has given us some info on it. So he says here, can't wait to see 3 more brand new Pokemon in Titan. I'm sure early gameplay leakers won't miss this big bomb. And I've already teased the 3rd legendary. Repeat it again now. You know what I mean. Like when you watch the first episode of the Pokemon anime and a golden bird suddenly flew by, and he's referencing in the first episode of Pokemon in the anime where Ash is on his bike and he can see the Ho-Oh flying through the sky, and you really didn't know what it was at the time because, well, we didn't know Ho-Oh was a real Pokemon until Gold and Silver, and that was, what, like 3 years until that Pokemon actually existed. So apparently something like that will occur towards the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, and I'm really excited about that because apparently the story of the game will not focus on this 3rd legendary at all. He is saying that this is going to be in a DLC, and probably the first DLC is really going to focus on this new legendary Pokemon. But we don't know really much about it outside that it's probably going to be a dragon to complete the dragon trio here. But he also does say there's 3 more brand new Pokemon in Titan. So I have a feeling that 2 of them are going to be the DLC Paradox Mons that we already know about. So Pokemon Scarlet is going to be getting a Paradox Suicune, and Pokemon Violet is going to be getting a Paradox Virizion. So probably those Pokemon are going to be leading into the first big DLC, and then it's going to end on this 3rd legendary, which I assume is the 3rd of the 3 brand new Pokemon coming to Titan here. And because I think it's going to be a dragon type, I think it's also going to be relating to the Terra typing as well, because in a previous leak, Riddler Khu said that the Terra phenomenon will not be discovered in Scarlet and Violet Vanilla, but in a later DLC or later content. So I have a feeling that this 3rd legendary is essentially going to be the key and probably going to be the reason why everything can terrestrialize in the first place. And I assume once we figure that out, there's also going to be exclusive terrestrializing forms. So right now we don't have any forms. It's just going to be, you can change into one of the 18 types whenever you want, right? But I assume there's going to be like special forms, probably something similar to like Gigantamax or maybe even Mega Evolution, where it's going to be a special form for unique Pokemon. And I assume someone like Charizard, Greninja, all the fan favorites, and a couple of new Pokemon will be getting this new ability, which is really exciting. And I do believe that this image down here posted by this Twitter user is something similar to what we're going to be seeing in the beginning of the game, that may be similar to what Riddler Khu is saying in an example about Ash seeing Ho-Oh at the beginning of the anime. I assume we're going to be seeing something like very crystal-like in the sky, and we're not going to really know. It's going to be some sort of shape or something like that, and it's going to end up becoming that 3rd legendary Pokemon. Currently in the game code, the Pokemon does not exist, so we really have no official information, but maybe in a later data mine when the game is officially out, we'll see something on it. And lastly, Riddler Khu tweeted out these 4 images of a Mega Evolution Crystal, Ultra Necrozma, Eternatus in its Dynamax form, and of the Terrestrialized Crystal. And notice the Terrestrialized Crystal has some Pokemon eyes on it, and I do believe these are the eyes that represent the 3rd legendary Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet. But notice how all of these are pretty much new forms, right? Mega Evolution is a temporary form. Dynamax for Eternatus is a temporary form as well. And Ultra Necrozma is its super buff form for Necrozma, right? So all of these are going to represent some type of form. And we know that Terrestrialize is a form in itself, but it's not something unique or crazy because it's universal across the board. However, I think this is trying to say, with all the other images here, that the 3rd legendary will have its own unique form. So there's going to be the 3rd legendary, and then it's going to turn into something else, and it's going to be like the super terrestrialized form. And this is where I also believe other Pokemon are going to be getting forms too, because Riddler Khu does put out like a Mega Crystal. Also, there was Gigantamax forms, which some Pokemon got their own forms from that as well. So I really think Riddler Khu is saying the DLC is definitely going to give us that 3rd legendary Pokemon, and then it's going to have its own form, and then a bunch of other Pokemon will have brand new forms as well, which is going to change the scape of Pokemon competitive for the next 3 years. Definitely let me know in the comment section below what Pokemon you hope gets its unique terrestrialized form in the DLC. I mean, I do think Charizard and Greninja are going to be getting them, but let me know what your favorite form would be. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.